And welcome to Houston Newsmakers Extra with HISD Interim Superintendent Dr. Grenita Lathan. We've been talking about the transition now getting back into school, which is going to be a little bit different this fall. It's only been a few days since you announced that you're going to start the school year in a virtual environment for the first 6 weeks. What kind of feedback have you had from the announcement that you made?
Overwhelmingly positive feedback. Of course, there were some concerns about us not reopening face-to-face. But the emails that I've received, the phone calls to the district office that we've received have almost, I would say, 85 to 90% been positive. I received emails from medical professionals saying thank you, that was the right decision to make, considering what's going on in the city of Houston. This is just about what's happening in our city and in our state as it relates to the number of positive cases.
What about HISD employees who are not teachers? There are a lot of folk who are, in regular school year, you see them around all the time, whether it's bus drivers or custodians, cafeteria workers, all of those folks. What happens to them during this period of time?
Great question. Our goal during this period of time is for our bus drivers to assist us with delivering the meals that I shared with you that will go out to large apartment complexes. So we will be assigning our employees that normally, like you said, they're actively engaged with students and out and about. We'll be assigning them to various other tasks during the time that we are virtual. And across the district, staff members whose job does not afford them to work remotely, we will assign them to help and serve as academic tutor support to our classroom teachers. For example, you and I are on Zoom this morning. We will have someone else assisting so the teacher can actually teach a live lesson and have another staff member actually sitting in the class and monitoring, helping students get on. If they get knocked out for any reason, they have someone they can call to get back online. And so that's how we plan to use those staff members that have jobs that normally interact one-on-one with students. I
see your shirt says HISD at home, so you've already got this going on here a little bit. What concerns do you have about the quality of education that a child can receive via online teaching as opposed to in person? Everyone already knows it's much better to have in person, but what kind of concerns do you have about the quality of education you can get from the online process?
And you know what, the main concerns, and like I said, I definitely agree, 100% face-to-face is the best option. But I will tell you the amount of work that the members of our team and our community partners, the amount of work that has been done or conducted over the past 5 months to get prepared for virtual learning is totally different than when you and I spoke last spring. And like I said, we actually have a playbook that will guide teachers, it will guide parents on what they need to do. The most concerning for me is when students and parents have internet issues. We all experience it when we're working from home, that you'll get online and then you might get knocked out. That's one of my major concerns, is making sure that students still are able to get connected and that they understand how to complete the tasks that are being assigned to them by their teachers. So we're still going to work through ensuring that students have that additional academic support. When we are back face-to-face, we will do what we need to do to ensure every student that needs additional support, that they receive it.
Are the special education students in a different category altogether? I mean, they're the ones who really need in-person. And so when you have special needs students who are in special ed, how is that being handled? Is that a little bit different? You have more people involved in that process?
We will be adding additional staff members to also support our special education students that need additional support with assistance virtually. There will be some home visits that will be conducted to support students and families with appropriate physical distancing. And then there will be a time where we will start transitioning our special education students in to provide services that cannot be provided virtually.
So the process going forward here now, there's athletics. Is athletics going to continue?
Athletics is actually on hold. When we are operating in a virtual format, students will not be engaged in athletics. The commitment that I've made to our athletic director and directors across the district is that when we are back face to face, if seasons need to be extended, We will extend our seasons to ensure that students have the opportunity to still compete and participate in sports if it is safe.
What kind of pressure was there from the national? We had pressure from the administration saying we don't want people back in class, or we're going to start holding money back. And were there just empty threats? Did you pay any attention to that in terms of money being a factor in whether or not you're going to open back in-person classrooms?
So as it relates to the concerns that money might have possibly been held from school districts, that is concerning when a high number of your students come from homes of poverty, and that federal support provides the assistance that we need for intervention and enrichment support at times. And like I said, there's no disagreement. Children do need to be back in school, but I also had to look at the safety factor and the issue around, like I said, what's occurring in our city, and made that decision. But like I said, I support the concept that children need to be in school. But there's a way that we have to do it right now to ensure that our staff members are safe and our students are safe.
So, how much federal money is there available typically? This may be bad to ask right off the top. I wouldn't expect you to have that number right off the top of your head. But when they talk about withholding funds, are we talking about a lot of money, or is that or have everybody backed away from that? State and national backed away from talking about withholding funds?
I don't know if they've backed away from it. Like I said, we just kept moving. We kept working. We kept working on our plan. And like I said, we are talking about almost for HISD over $100 million. If you think about the monies that flow in federally from one particular funding source. And so that is a lot of money that we had to take into consideration. But like I said, at the end of the day, I had to go back to the results, the data,
right.
The data around the positive cases in our city, the data around parents and teacher response as it relates to returning back to school.
You have been focused singularly on educating the children of HISD for quite some time, and that included the time when the TEA was threatening to take over the board. At this point, that threat is, while it hasn't been articulated publicly in quite some time, as far as you know, that's still on the back burner, is it not?
It is. It's on the back burner, but educating children is in the forefront of what I need to do, and also what we need to do as a district and as a city. And that's where we have to keep our focus on the main thing. And the main thing is ensuring that every child in the city of Houston receives a quality education.
Do you think that all the things, the efforts that you're making now, at some point would change the idea that started last year when they were talking about taking over HISD, that there may be some change in their dialogue or their attitude about that?
I hope that would be taken into consideration, but there are a lot of things as it relates to state statutes and different things that are going on or occurring. But like I said, we are making progress as a district. That was evident. It has been evident as it relates to what our academic rating was or still is. It still remains a B. And the number of schools that we have moved from F status to C and above.
All right, last question, and that is about summer meals. I understand you have some summer meals that are starting up again, starting on Monday. Who's eligible for that? Anyone
that shows up is eligible. I believe we are at 11 sites starting Monday, strategically placed across the district so that our parents do not have to travel a long way to get those meals. But it's open to all of our students and all of our families. They just need to show up.
And typically when you say summer meals, are we talking about a lunch or talking about a breakfast, or what kind of, is it?
We're partnering with the Houston Food Bank, so it's meals for several days.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes, very, very blessed to be able to partner with the Houston Food Bank.
Good deal. Well, thank you, Dr. Lathan. I appreciate your time on this Newsmakers Extra. A lot of good information that people will want to know. And thank you for your efforts and your school board, and look forward to you having a successful school year going forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.